Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. So in this video, I'm having a look at the Oasis blockchain, which is a fairly new, in fact, sort of just launching blockchain, which has sort of come out of the Japanese games industry in particular, although it's sort of gaining support from sort of companies in South Korea as well. So it's sort of, I guess you'd call it Japanese, sort of Asian specific sort of blockchain. There's no reason, obviously, that Western developers couldn't get involved, but basically the sort of companies behind it are the initial companies are Japanese and they're sort of spreading out. So some stuff about Oasis: it raised $20 million in July 2022 when it sold its first tokens. It's just done another token raise, a public token raise. It's raised just under $1 million from that. And it's also raised a whole bunch of sort of VC strategic funding. It's not said how much it's raised, so I guess we're sort of broadly guessing there, but you would think it would be above sort of $10-20 million, something like that. I would think Galaxy Interactive and the big South Korean gaming firm Nexon were the lead investors on that. So sort of coming together with Oasis. Its mainnet's gone live as well. So blockchains are a little bit of sort of what's the smoke and tricks and something, smoke and mirrors. But Oasis is sort of live now. I'm going to say it has a lot of backing from Japanese games companies. It's sort of actually a evolution of some sort of blockchain gaming infrastructure that came from a company called Double Jump Tokyo. They're very early into blockchain games. They had a game called My Crypto Heroes, which is sort of still live, was on Ethereum, then moved to Polygon, and they had all these sort of struggles with infrastructure. And that's, I think, where Oasis has come from. A bit sort of like Dapper Labs, struggling with Ethereum, with some of its games, and CryptoKitties being one. So it sort of came up with its own blockchain. So I think that's sort of the process that Oasis has sort of gone through. Some smart people trying to do blockchain games realised that sort of Ethereum is not really designed for the sort of games they want to make. And obviously, gas fees go up and down. Gas fees very low at the moment on Ethereum, but obviously they've gone massively high a year or so ago as well. So they're basically coming up with their own infrastructure, and now they're trying to get sort of what I would call traditional game developers to start making blockchain games. That obviously takes a while. It takes a year, 2 years to make a game. So still in the early stages. This is just the web interface. They call this the Oasis Hub. We can see what's going on here. Circulating supply is 0, so they've just launched it. So tokens are sort of live, but I think they are only live for people who are validating the blockchain. So it's a proof of stake infrastructure. So you have these validator nodes. They stake tokens in to validate transactions. They get slashed if they're not very if they're sort of if they're doing either sort of evil things or just not very good in terms of operational uptime. But for the public at the moment can't buy the tokens, as far as I can see. It is a EVM compatible blockchain, so it basically uses the Ethereum virtual machine. So basically any Solidity code on Ethereum will work on Oasis. You do, if you're logging in using MetaMask, you do have to sort of set up MetaMask to work on that. It does that automatically now through MetaMask. That's what's going on here. So we can see here a few things. So staking. Obviously, you can see I don't have any coins at the moment, and I don't think anyone has any coins. But we can see here how many. What we've got. So 1.3 billion tokens are staked. There are 21 validators. Those validators are earning 10% APY in terms of, this isn't dollars, I assume. This is in terms of they're getting, these coins are being created every block, and they're getting and they're being rewarded for the validators. So that's what's going on there. Who have the epoch. So that's the sort of just the sort of almost like the season. Next reward structure. So that's when these tokens go live, I guess we can probably stake with some of these validators. It's interesting to look at these validators and see who they are. So this is NHN Play Art. This is a big South Korean game developer, game publisher, really. So we can see they've got 25 million staked. This is My Crypto Heroes company. So this is basically the company that they set up to sort of run this sort of stuff. The company I mentioned, Double Jump Tokyo, have set up this company called My Crypto Heroes. So they've got 101 million tokens. So they're the prime sort of architects behind it. Square Enix, we know them, big Japanese company, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest. Crypto Games, don't know who they are, but obviously a crypto games company. We Made, massive South Korean company, actually running their own infrastructure for blockchain called WeMix. Sega, we all know Sega. Jump Crypto is a investor. So it's a VC was called Jump Capital. Then they set up a crypto branch. So they've got what's that? Almost 1 million tokens. Mythical Games. They run their own mythical chain as well. So you can see there's sort of quite a lot of cross pollination here. 25 million tokens for mythical games. Oasys is again a sort of not massive but fairly well-known South Korean games company. Lots of online PC games. Third Verse is I forget this right, Japanese games company doing VR and blockchain. Ubisoft Strategic Innovation Labs, so we know who Ubisoft is. Bandai Namco, so obviously the known for many things. Pac-Man, I guess, still one, but lots of other games globally. Come to Us, big South Korean mobile games company doing its own blockchain stuff as well. Double Jump Tokyo, so that's the sort of separate company from the My Crypto Heroes. Gummy, really big Japanese free-to-play mobile company. Brave Heroes is its really big mobile game. Yield Guild Games, the really big guild, came to fruition with Axie Infinity. Netmarble, massive South Korean games publisher. So we can sort of see who's involved in this. Clearly, this is games companies. These are some of the biggest Japanese games companies in the world, and some of actually the largest South Korean ones. So Netmarble is one of the big ones as well. And let's say Nexon just invested. So I guess in Korea you sort of have Netmarble, Nexon, and NCSoft are the three really big companies. So two of these are involved in that. So that's what's going on. This is the blockchain validation stuff. So say when we have our tokens, we can probably go and hit the stake button and do some staking of those. Verse. So the verse seems to be like verse metaverse. So it looks like this is where we might see where sort of these game projects are coming from. So we have the My Crypto Heroes verse. We have the trading card game verse. I guess we have the home verse. So what's the home verse? This is where you start on the blockchain. So here you can see some projects. Brave Frontier Heroes. This is a game that's actually, I assume, still live. It was launched on Ethereum blockchain, moved to Polygon. Akanomi Monsters. No idea what that is. But this saying this is the place to start. You find your favorite games here. So this is operated by Double Jump Tokyo, the company behind sort of the whole blockchain, really. Whatever, we've got the let's click on that one. Come on. So this is this new company, MCH Co Limited. So they are operating this versus their own blockchain. So I think basically it's a layer 2 blockchain. So I think sort of you have Oasis as a layer 1, and then people are operating their own layer 2s. So here we have My Crypto Heroes, My Crypto Heroes, My Crypto Saga, which is sort of the sequel. Chain Colossus Phoenix and Remonster. Some games there. And what was the other one we had? Oh, the trading card ones. So I imagine this is going to be a whole bunch of trading card games. Crypto Spells, which is already live. NFT Wars, and the Nemots. These all might be live, actually. So the TCG versus a blockchain specializing for trading card games. Various games will be supported in the future. So you can sort of see there's the Oasis, and then there's these sort of layer 2 chains where content will be released on there. Let's have a look and see. If I click on here, what's that going to take me to? It just take me to their website. Yeah, so that's just taking me to their website. Okay, so we can sort of get an idea about how this is sort of working. My assets obviously don't have any assets because. There's no assets live, so it looks like I can bridge. Do some bridging, so I can bridge. Yeah, so the Oasis is going to be the layer 1, and then you're going to have to bridge your assets to the layer 2 you want to bridge them to, which is sort of what we do, I guess, with something like Immutable X. So you can have your assets on Ethereum, then you can bridge them over to Immutable X, or with Ronin blockchain on Axie Infinity. You actually move those between blockchains. Okay, so here, this is the hub layer. This is my wallet here. And it's going to create a random address for me on. It's going to be the same. Oh no! It is actually a totally different address. Look at that. So if I had some tokens here on the hub layer, I could move them to one of these verses. To me, that's sort of friction. It's not necessarily a great solution, but who am I to say? I've never developed a blockchain, but I think if you're doing, don't do that. I mean, if you're doing a layer 2 solution, that's sort of what you have to do. So, you know, I guess maybe you just have to get used to it. Okay, and this would be. This looks like if I want to deposit and withdraw to another blockchain. So Seller is another blockchain, like a interoperability sort of thing, I guess. So that's gonna they're gonna integrate that to Oasis, so I can probably move to other blockchains if I want to. Bit of a guess on my part there. And then have the block explorer. Obviously, that's pretty fundamental to any blockchain, so we can sort of see just what's going on here. The blocks being created, we can look at obviously no transactions going through at the moment, well, not obviously, but the mainnet's not live and there's nothing running on it yet, so there's no tokens live. So basically, you know, well, it looks like, well, there have been transactions here, but at the moment there's no transactions. I guess this is the testing period here. So block every 15 seconds. So not vast amounts of wallets, because why would you create a wallet at the moment? Because there's nothing going on. So so early days. What else we got? Oh, we can see. Is that going to show us anything? Okay, we can look at some transactions here, but probably, yeah, sort of not terribly interesting. We can sort of see it's up and running. This is the whole point about a blockchain, is you can see things are sort of being validated and such like. Okay, and these are some. Okay, so these are some coins. So we have the stakeable Oasis coin. We have the MCH coin. I don't know what Raise is. We have the trading card one. We have a version of Tether. Interesting. You can see the total supply. We have UDC. So these are stable coins. Not a vast amount at the moment. $24 and $27. So yeah, just the early sort of stages of what's going on. For the Oasis blockchain. So, but it is interesting because there is they have raised money now. There is a lot of sort of big names behind it. You have to be a little bit careful sometimes with big names. Big names, just because there's big names behind it doesn't mean big names are necessarily committed to it. You know, big names can quite quickly, if they're not sort of nailed to the mast, sort of jump overboard. So we'll wait to see what sort of happens. At the moment, the sort of content that is coming is mainly from sort of the My Crypto Heroes sort of stuff being rebooted from Polygon onto this chain. So we need to see a bit more than that. But I guess we will see some brands coming. I think particularly Square Enix has been quite vocal about what it wants to do. So that would be the sort of place to watch for. But anyway, keep an eye on what's going on. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Again.